Okay, so now we fix the attention on the body as a whole. And then to settle the mind, you can do a few rounds of mindful breathing, in and out breathing. And breathing in, experience the whole in-breath. And breathing out, experience the whole out-breath. Okay, now the first part of this session is going to be a meditation on loving kindness directed towards people, everybody who has been affected or might be affected by the coronavirus. And so first we use ourself as the standard. And so we want to generate the loving kindness towards ourself. And I'm going to develop this meditation by reciting phrases that are intended to draw out from the heart a particular feeling. And after I recite the phrase, I'm going to pause for a few seconds, and then you generate the thought or the feeling that corresponds to the phrase. So first, take yourself as the object of loving kindness and direct towards yourself the wish, may I be well and healthy. May I be safe from all danger, particularly the danger of this illness. May I be free from all harm and suffering. Okay, now you can take some members of your family or a few friends, bring them into the range of your mind. And then deep within your heart, generate the wish, may my family and friends be well. May they be safe. Safe from infection. May my family members and friends be free from all affliction and harm, from all harm and suffering. Okay, now you could extend your mind to people in your neighborhood. If you're living in an apartment building, you could take in the other people living in that apartment building. If you live on a house, take in the other people living in the houses along the street. Sort of bring them all into the range of your mind and your heart and generate the wish. May all my neighbors be well and healthy. May all my neighbors be safe from infection. May all my neighbors be free from harm and suffering. Okay, now take the largest population center near to your home. If it's a town, it could be a town, could be a city. If you're living in a town or a city, of course, you take that town or city. If you're living out in the country, the way we're living here in this monastery, we might take one of the nearby towns. But since New York City is the nearest big city, so we'll take New York City. And so bring to mind all of the people living in this city or town. Think of them, most of them staying at home. Some have been admitted to the hospital. Some are performing their essential work, essential services. So bring them all into the range of your mind, the range of your heart, and then extend to them the thoughts of loving kindness. May all of the people in this town or city, may they all be well and healthy. May all of these people be safe from infection. May all of these people be free from harm and suffering. And may those who are ill quickly recover from their illness. Okay, now let your mind extend over the entire United States. Bringing in especially the densely populated areas where there's been a large number of cases of the COVID-19. Particularly New York is said to be the epicenter. New Jersey is strongly affected. Chicago, Detroit, Florida, New Orleans, clear across the country, Los Angeles, San Francisco have had a large number of cases, Seattle, Washington. Bring in all of the population, the entire population of the country, and then generate the wish. May all of the people in the US, especially the most vulnerable groups, may they all be well. May they all be safe, enveloped in a web of protective safety. May they be free from harm and suffering. And just keep on generating this thought of loving kindness, a wish for the well-being and happiness of everyone in this country. Now we move the mind over to Europe. We focus particularly on two countries in Europe where there have been a large number of cases, Italy and Spain. But take in the entire continent and generate the wish. May all of the people of Europe, may they all be well. May they be safe. May they be free from all harm and suffering. Now we can move the mind over to Iran, in which there have been a high number of cases, even from the very early stage in the development of the pandemic. It's a rather densely populated country. So we generate the wish, may all of the people in Iran be well, safe, free from harm and suffering. Okay, and now let your mind take in the entire human population of this planet. So we take in all of the continents, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, the Pacific Islands. 7.2 billion people, but we're all in the same situation. In a way, it takes this virus to bring out the essential human unity, that we're all subject to illness, subject to death, subject to the loss of loved ones, relatives, and friends. And so we generate a mind embracing the whole human family. May all of the people on earth be well. May they all be safe, safe from infection. May they be free from all harm and suffering. Okay, now we're going to turn for a few moments. We've been doing, this is a form of the meditation of loving kindness. Now to turn it into a meditation on compassion, we bring to mind people, say, who have been admitted to the hospital, who are lying on their beds in the hospital, fearful, isolated, seriously ill, difficult breathing. And just think that these people could be our own mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, or daughters. And so, in whatever country, wherever they might be, particularly poorer populations in the US, where they live in densely populated areas, and so the infection has spread rapidly. In poorer regions on the earth, where the medical facilities are very basic and inadequate. And so think of all of the infected, ill people, even people who are sliding towards death, and also bring to mind the relatives of those patients who are anxious and worried about their loved ones, or grieving over the death of their loved ones. And on your own now, just for a couple of minutes, generate the thought, the mind of compassion for them. To strengthen the compassion, you can keep on thinking, may they be free from their suffering. May they be free from their illness. May they be free from their suffering, free from their illness. Okay, and now we're going to bring to mind the people who are working courageously and selflessly to help the ill or to keep our society functioning, often at the cost of great self-sacrifice to themselves. We think of the doctors who are working long hours in overcrowded hospitals and rejoice in their compassion, their sense of self-sacrifice, their commitment to the well-being of others. Bring to mind the doctors, the nurses, the other healthcare workers, the hospital staff, and just rejoice again in their courage, compassion, commitment to the good of others. And then bring to mind the ordinary people working in what we might call the essential economy, just to keep the economy functioning even at minimal level. Bus drivers, subway conductors, grocery store workers, supermarket clerks and staff of supermarkets, the drivers in the so-called gig economy, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, taxi drivers, garbage collectors, cleaning staff, and rejoice in their labors, and also generate thoughts of gratitude and appreciation towards them for what they're doing, so that the rest of us can live in social isolation, social lockdown. Particularly, we think of poor families in which one person or maybe both parents have to go out to work, even though it's risky, and generate the wish, may they be well, may they be safe, may they be free, protected from all harm and suffering. Okay, now come back to yourself, to your own body, and let the awareness, the mindfulness settle on the body, inside the body. And just dwell in the body, mindfully attending to the in and out breathing for about 5 minutes on your own. Okay, now you can relax. There's time to take a few questions, and the way to get, for me to get the questions, there should be a way for you to put your hand up. Not your physical hand, but there's a way to do that with the, let me see how to do that. I think if you open the, is it the chat box? No, it's not the chat box.
Is that the more option, Bante?
Excuse me?
More. On the
Okay.
most right side, more.
Yeah.
Dot.
I don't see it.
Oh, I'm using the handphone. So if it's under using the mobile, there will be a more option at the bottom right.
Yeah, no, I'm using the computer.
Oh, okay.
There should be a way to do that. You know, I've seen it previously. I don't see it now. Is anybody familiar with using? It should have been under managing.
Is Johnny.
Excuse me?
If everyone click on at the bottom on participant.
On the bottom?
Yes. Click on participants.
I'm on participants.
Okay. You are already on. Okay, I do not see that. Are you sharing the screen? If you click on participant. And there's something called raise hand. I just raised my hand. And James HD is raised his hand.
I see the hands. I see this. I see. Okay, now I see the hands.
I'm lowering my hand.
Okay, I see somebody. James HD. I saw the hand. Okay. James. James.
Yes. I had a question. Something I've been wondering for a little while. When you're practicing loving kindness,
Yeah.
I've heard different answers from different people. Is the loving kindness the intention that you generate, or is it the feelings that come of that?
What I would say is first, one has the intention. So the intention is for the people that one is bringing into the range, for them to be well and happy.
Okay.
So first generating it as a thought. Unless one has a lot of experience, generally the feeling doesn't come immediately. But one uses the thought as a way to generate the feeling. And then as one does it repeatedly, and sometimes one has to explore in various ways, sometimes using different formulas.
Right.
Until one could start to generate the feeling. And then one continues still with the thought, but as one proceeds, then the feeling becomes stronger and stronger.
Right. You know, I've had plenty of times where I'm generating it, and then the feeling comes, and then they almost kind of just merge. You know, there's no. It reaches a point where your mind is so concentrated that you can't really discern between them. They become kind of the same thing.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me put down my hand here. There we go.
Okay, do we have any other question? Okay, I don't see any other questions, so we're going to wrap up now with a few recitations after the meditation. I won't do the 3 characteristics now. We'll do the, what's called the loving kindness. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so we'll recite this both in Pali and in English. I'll recite in Pali and phrase by phrase. Dukkha pata chani dukkha,
Dukkha pata jani dukkha,
bhaya pata chani bhaya,
bhaya pata jani bhaya,
soka pata chani soka,
Sukha pata
Chani
chanuka.
soka.
hantu sabe pi panino.
tu sabe
Nino.
May those who suffer be free from suffering.
May those who
Suffer, be free from suffering.
May those who fear be free from fear.
May
Those who fear be free from fear.
fear.
May those who sorrow be free from sorrow.
May those who sorrow
Sorrow, be free from sorrow.
May all living beings also be thus.
May all
living beings also be
to
thus.
be
Also be
thus.
done.
And then we say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
Sadhu.
And then we bring to mind the Buddha as though the Buddha is present in front of us. And we do 3. If it's not convenient to do the bow, we could do like 3 half bows
Right.
with the hands and anjali. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I remind you that on Sunday evening at the same time, Venerable Mangala, the other monk who stays with me, he'll be conducting a meditation on the same channel, the same Zoom ID number. So please come in and join for his meditation. And then I'll be back next Wednesday to continue the meditation. And for those of you, well, whether you're living in this area or not, but on Saturday, actually you can't come to the monastery, but we have the Dharma class on Saturday morning. I was going to say come to the monastery on Saturday.
I was about to say, don't do that.
Yeah, so we have the group meditation on Saturday morning from 9 to, it's from 9:30 now, from 9:30 till 10. And then we have the class, Dhamma class on the Anguttara Nikaya from 10 to 11:30. And you'll find that information on the website of BAUS, the Buddhist Association of the United States. You'll find all of the information and the links, the Zoom links to join. Okay, thank you all for.
Thank you very much, Bante. Namo Buddhaya.
Bante.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Okay, good. Okay, good night.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Bante.
Papa,
Bye. Good night.
Okay, good night.
we love you. Good night.
Good night.
Be
Bye.
safe and well.
Okay.
See you, Bante, and
Okay, good
everyone.
night. Good night.